There were no appeals at that time. Therefore, it's not going to come back to the council, just to let folks know. There was never any arrangement. There was not a quid pro quo in terms of, well, are they going to stand behind doing the parking lot in order to get approval of this?
Right.
The word that they gave me was no, that wasn't included. But nevertheless, that's where we stand right now in proceeding with the parking lot. The parking lot is part of the overall plan, but it came up first because there's a greater need for that right now.
When the project first was proposed initially, you were not supportive of it being there at Lower Point Vicente. I don't know what you're thinking
right.
Now, if
Right.
you're still sifting through it all. And
well, a lot of people have asked me that same question. No, I stand behind that vote that I made. I think this is a great idea. I think it's a wonderful benefit to our community. Make no mistake about it. I mean, you get a $40 million project. You get a $40 million gift to a community. You should weigh those issues very carefully. I mean, in that light. At the time of the vote, I said, this is a wonderful idea. Right idea, wrong location. There are lots of other things to do. I would like to see, I mean, if I had my druthers, at that time I would like to have seen it considered for here at the Civic Center site. I think it would have been an excellent addition to it. Or perhaps further down our coast in some of the other spots. Now, I didn't prevail. I mean, okay, it moves on. That's a decision by the city. I'm not going to go back and try and undo that. What we need to focus on now are the items that I talked about. The next big issue for me will be what's included in the plan. I mean, I need to work with my colleagues to make sure that we get the best possible thing and most appropriate for our community. Similarly, I also need to make sure that we're on top of the contract that we have with the Annenbergs.
They certainly would finance it, but it's city land that they lease.
It is city land, and I don't, whether it's called a lease or not, I'm still not there yet on it.
Right.
But if the issue comes back up and they say, you know, we'd like to consider moving it someplace else, and that would be another conversation. But I don't think that's going to happen. So I think we need to concentrate and not be distracted, and my colleagues and I need to concentrate on making this a good, viable project for our community. For me to fold my hands and be an obstructionist, that's not my style, and I don't think that's correct. I think we need to move forward with making this as good as it can be.
Of course, you have to remember, too, back in the day when they wanted to put the interpretive center there in that beautiful open space, there were certainly people that thought, no way, and then they came back, and now that it was there, they celebrated. So,
yes.
And, you know, when it opens, or if it opens someday, you might change your mind.
Yeah, well, I very well could. I recognize that. The PVIC, where it is, that interpretive center where it is, indeed, it is one of the great assets for our community.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to move up the coast and up the hill to the next hot subject, which is Marymount.
Boy, does this never stop.
Up the coast, up the hill. There we go.
That's
Marymount has been making headlines, and for several reasons. One, they were approved for a 4-year accreditation,
right,
and they'll be having a celebration of that. And so the discussion was, of course, how would that impact the community if they turned to 4-year college? What are your thoughts just on that milestone for the school?
Well, first of all, I was invited to that event. I'm sorry I can't be there. As people will know, this is a busy time of year for accountants.
Yes.
Taking time for interviews like this is about the time we can work in, and unfortunately, that particular day I have appointments and meetings. But I did send to Dr. Brophy a note of congratulations. I don't read anything into that, however it is that I might vote, but it reflects or represents the hard work by a lot of folks there, and they still should be recognized for qualifying for the accreditation. Now, I can't speak to the merits of it, but I do know that they worked hard for it. Now, there were, as last we left off, so that people understand what it is that the council has done, or is about to do. On Tuesday, March 30th, the City Council is going to meet and begin the hearings in earnest. The last meeting we had within the last month had to do with what we called, I believe, Appendix D to the EIR, relating to what arose out of our last meeting, having to do with specifically what a 4-year school means to this project, and also about relocation of the soccer field. I'll talk about that in just a minute. But nevertheless, that was our plan, and we might even, we're trying to work out the details too, because I said if we don't conclude on that on the 30th, I don't want to wait another month. I want to be able to meet the following night, and they're trying to arrange that date right now. Now, that was just on the project that we had in front of us, and I'll save you from asking me the question. Well, what do you think about the ballot proposal? Maybe
right, but you're a baseball guy. I was going to say, did they throw you a curveball with the efforts now to have a petition drive out to the community, right, to have a ballot measure, which would then put their project before the voters?
To give you a direct answer, yes. You used the right phrase. It was a curveball. I didn't see it coming, or anybody else.